Best/worst GM advice thread. Recently discovered Wix Play Dirty, and I gotta say, that's some Warren Ellis tier passive-aggressive garbage. What's some of the best/worst GM advice you've ever got or gave out?
Well, I feel like this is a speciality of me because I'm a terrible DM. So let me explain to you what good advice is from someone who can barely run a game and some bitch that can't even remember a fucking pencil. So I'm not bitch. This video is going to be very informative, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into this.
My best advice is to learn bullshit. Learn to bullshit.
Well, I mean, Kaisha is very interesting. Well, yeah. I'm going to keep that one in. Sorry. We're going to have to keep going.
Is to learn the bullshit. Learn the bullshit and make it seem like it was the plan the whole time. Your players won't be able to tell, and they'll think you're some 4D chess playing genius. But they'll also have more fun because they threw you a curveball and you knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Just learn to...
Well, it's bullshit and improvise are the same thing, essentially.
Yeah.
And, it is very fast. I think this is why so many people have a thing against pre-made adventures, because a lot of people can't handle going off the trail. And then they're like,
But this isn't what the book says.
Just fucking guys, please keep the book. And then the player's like, oh, stop there. I think there's a healthy mix of both going on.
Rape is just a tool for your character, just like it is for you as a player. DM giving you some lip, then spread theirs.
I mean, I like the way you added in for you as a player, by the way, not IRL or anything, just as a player. And also I do like the way he didn't specify
best or worst
if this is good or bad advice. I'm gonna let you guys work it out yourself. I think try it out, experiment.
Maybe not.
Of course in game, but
good advice: world building, general design of landmass and major cities, main inhabitants, customs, etc. Everything else is vague, but filled in as explored with gradual transitions from major city to another.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. Combat. Learn mob rules and use them. Thematically, fighting 50 goblins is great. Making it take hours to accomplish is boring and tedious for everyone involved.
Most definitely. Everyone wants to be the hero. Everyone wants to be like, oh yeah, and then I killed 5 billion of the enemy and it was great fun. But it's a slow game and you've only got so many hits, so let's speed that shit up, can't we?
Humanoids should have enough sense to recognise they're losing and retreat.
Yeah. I really want maybe a leadership stat of sorts. Maybe
take that.
Yeah,
that
maybe you could tie it to maybe
instead
charisma.
Of it just being, well, maybe not.
Well, tie it to charisma and make it okay, if over half of your party dies, they're probably going to run. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exploration. If the players think to check something you didn't account for, random low-tier treasure tables are your friend. Traps should either be frequent and low damage so that the party is wary of exploring, or infrequent but lethal, so the party is wary of exploring.
Works either way. It depends on what time you've got. It's I'm really not in the mid. I really want us to get to this point. So, let's just work with it.
General rule. You let your players try anything they wish, no matter how absurd it is. Don't be afraid to let natural reactions occur as a result.
I feel like Guardbros get that.
Yeah. Bad advice. World building. Be very detailed.
It feels like a lot of people that are DMs, they want to be authors a lot of time, and they want to write their own homebrew to be their own fantasy world.
But if you do want to read something like that, check out the link to Veil Riders.
Yeah, but
Veil Riders is actually really fucking good.
It is actually really good, but that works. But that's for Guardbros. But I feel like I'm sure you guys have had it before. Your DM said, "Oh no, I've been working on this world for a long time. Here, take a copy,"
and nothing makes sense.
And they slap it down the table, and it's a fucking binder 4 inches thick.
Yeah.
The players are going to be like, oh god, no.
Combat. Allowed rests after every encounter.
It takes too long.
Yeah. Exploration. Use riddles.
You know what?
I don't mind the odd riddle.
You know what? I've only actually got hit with a couple riddles, and I was actually able to answer one of them, which it really shocked me. It was Thingy's game, so it was Nick's. His wee weeb one that he made. It was actually really good. Yeah. And here, I was able to actually answer the riddle once.
Was it what has 4 legs but doesn't stand?
Nah, it wasn't like that. It was more like,
What has 4 legs but doesn't stand?
A chair?
Yeah, good boy.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. No, it was something about the Rising Sun. I can't remember the exact thing, but...
General rule. Crit fail and success means something incredible happens.
Fuck yeah, like everyone knows that's the way it should be. Everyone knows if I roll a 20, if it's a 5% chance something can happen, I get to break the rules. Physics, everyone should be on board with that, and I can't believe anyone could ever question me on this, okay?
Best, skill-based exploration encounters should be just as engaging as combat ones. Try to make meaningful environmental hazards and skill challenges part of the game.
See, that's the thing that this is why I really do not like. Now, maybe it's because I've got the tism, but I have a really hard time imagining, like, theatre of the mind shit. I like to have a battle map or something. Maybe it's because I got into 40k way before I got into role-playing games.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just because
and you already had the stage set.
Yeah, that's how I picture it, you know what I mean? I have a way better time.
Instead of trying to imagine.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. And I find a lot of the time with Theatre of the Mind, you're asking the DM, oh, am I close enough? Can I make combat? Can I move in? Can I go out?
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a map down, you can see, there's a bookcase there. Could I use my action to fuck it in the way? Could I create a barricade?
Yeah.
Could I do something with
That's why I think you enjoy Roll20 so much, because you can actually see the map.
Yeah. I've gotten used to it at that point, and let's be honest with you, when you're playing like a map IRL, the DM just draws shit out, and most of the time it's just squares.
Yeah.
But I think like Roll20, let's just keep going, alright?
Worst. Every session should have a 30% chance of a TPK.
Alright, Jonathan. That's it. Fucking Mr. V, I see what you're up to here, for fuck's sake.
Hey guys, do you like models in your tabletop role-playing games? 'Cause we do too. Do you like having big bitty waifus on your table? 'Cause we do too. We got human biddies, we got lizard biddies, we got orc biddies, oni biddies, cat bussies. We've got everything you want at neckbeardia.co.uk.
Check the links down below, it helps us out a lot.
Sorry for interrupting the video, let's get on with the story. No, that last one wasn't a OSR grog or COC player. Otherwise, I might say they had a point.
Yes, Jonathan.
Running a game is all about balancing extremes, both within the game and without. Be honest with player, but keep a sense of mystery. Don't fudge rolls, but be willing to change difficulty on the fly if players have particularly good/bad approaches. Build challenges with the party's abilities in mind. Avoid using pre-generated materials unless your system has a very high floor and very low ceiling. Nothing ruins an encounter like a player realising it is literally impossible to pass or fail. Except, of course, if that's the feeling they are looking for. Like trying to fight a great old one in Call of Cthulhu, or a single mortal as a solar in Exalted.
Now, the thing is, I don't mind getting thrown like what seems to be impossible encounters, because I feel like if you use your head a wee bit, you can get around these. A good example was, now I did something very evil. This was a very
surprise!
So this was in the. I've told you guys this story before. This was in the Lime of the Frost Maiden game. We went to the shipwreck, and there was all this buried treasure. We were digging it up, and a dragon with a wizard showed up on top, and we had enough time to hide, but. This is a CR20, and we were all like level 6, 7, 8-ish, and around that level. Like, there's no way we could like, everyone was going to die. If we even got discovered, we were stealing their shit, we are going to die. And so what I decided was everyone was hiding. We all had different ways of hiding. And I took a level in Warlock, Grade 1, so I used Awakened Mind, and I decided, you know what, maybe if I could trick them in a way. So what I did was I LARPed as an Elder Brain, because that's what my good old worn deity was, and I managed to convince the dragon. Now the dragon was very old, it had cataracts and all this, and I managed to convince it that there was a town of humans that were kind of mean to us, so I managed to convince him that the town of villagers and this wizard that was after us were the people that actually stole all the loot, and the dragon went on a bit of a rampage. The town, it got flattened, created a bit of a refugee crisis. But we got some pretty sweet loot, not gonna lie.
And you know what? That's all that matters at the end of the day.
And you know what? If a level 7 party can get past a CR20 encounter, you can too.
Based on charisma alone.
Yeah. I got
a level and
I got a really good deception goal and a persuasion goal. I was very happy, so I was, alright? But it can happen, so think about it. It is always an option.
Keep overarching plots to the bare bones until the players start making progress towards them. Be willing to change the ideas you came up with when you first sat down if you come up with better ones or if the tone of the game shifts. Keep a list, mental or physical, of character names and one-line backstories in case some of the players start asking questions. Give agency, but uphold consequences. Unironically, the gay rights revolution lit green text is a great example.
I need to know about this green text.
Sorry, what?
Where? Where is it?
Make sure everyone is on the same page. Like it or not, being GM means being team dad.
Yeah, it is. It's sadly it is. You're team leader.
Manage out of character drama and keep it to a minimum. Don't let things fester and address problem players as soon as they appear. A lot of shit can be avoided by nipping it in the bud. Make sure you and the players are on the same page in terms of tones and rules. Don't pull a house rule halfway through the game without giving the players an opportunity to rebuild it if it changes their character. Give players an idea of what the optimization threshold should be. Be upfront about bans or restrictions, and don't punish out-of-game decisions in-game, or vice versa. Give each major NPC an agenda, what they would do if the players never showed up. Try to make every combat feel important, even in games where it is the norm. Avoid random charts. Don't play with fat people.
Shit. It's pretty spot on until, that's the out. I actually really like random charts, though. I really enjoy random charts, but it depends on what they're for. Is it your entire...
It depends on the game as well.
If your entire campaign is revolved around, what wacky adventure can we get up to now? Let's roll the dice on the table, you know what I mean? But no, I think across the board, I think very good points. I want to know more about this gay lich.
Yes, so do I. I'm a huge supporter of the whole prep situations approach. Take this a step further. I've stopped trying to figure out how players are meant to solve specific problems. I just introduce situations, and often I have no idea myself how things are supposed to play out. I mostly play Call of Cthulhu, and there are a few clear-cut answers when it comes to fighting supernatural horrors, but I just feed off my players' ideas. For example, I'm running masks of... No.
Big word.
Big brain word. Currently, and I have no fucking idea how players are meant to survive the Egypt chapter at all. There's so much insane and violent shit going on that will immediately kill investigators. The thing is, figuring out how to solve the problem is literally the PC's job. My job is to just present the situation and engage with the players' ideas. I think it's a big problem in games like D&D where certain situations have very fixed solutions. If players cannot see the solution, or if they don't roll the required DC 15 check or whatever, then things just get messy and boring. Another piece of GM advice is that might be controversial. I think newbies should run pre-made adventures. Many intro scenarios are great, and they showcase possible structures that can be reused when a GM then creates their own stuff. Yes.
Yeah, honestly,
I agree with that last bit.
I think there's no
See,
problem.
whenever a newbie rocks up with like homebrew that they're like...
Wait, guys, you want to see my totally awesome, not weeb, fucking hentai, fucking furry extravaganza? Trust me, guys, it's really cool. You know, it's like, everyone knows what it's like. No, I definitely do think...
I watch Matt Mercer.
Look. Okay, anyway. No, what I think the biggest problem is, it's not that the player, say for instance, okay, there's this certain skill check, and okay, if they don't match that 15, they're just not getting past it.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the time the players should be okay. Say they say, there's a wardrobe. I'm going to go to investigate. Mm-hmm. You want to say, what are you actually doing? I want to go into the wardrobe. I want to go through all the pockets and any of the clothes.
Yeah.
Rip everything apart. Describe what you're doing. Don't just say, I roll for X. Tell me what happens.
Yeah.
Be more descriptive in how you're going
what
about it.
What your action's going to do and what your action's going to cause.
Yeah. Like
what you would like it to cause.
Yeah, or what I'm going for, like what way I'm approaching this. Let's say it's even like an animal handling check, which no one fucking uses. Because let's be serious, animal handling's fucking useless. Well, it's more... people don't use it that much, but anyway, like, you know, how you going about it, how you going into it. Like, say you want to approach a horse,
yeah,
you know, everyone knows you don't walk up behind a horse.
Yeah,
that's just a bad idea.
You don't walk up behind a horse and just slap it on the fucking rear end and hope things go right.
You know, go into detail about what it is you're going to do and how you're doing it and how you're trying to convey it.
Yeah.
And I feel like DMs are way more willing to give you more hints and ideas. It's like, okay, maybe you want to investigate X. Okay, I go to investigate that. Oh, nothing happens. It's like, well, maybe if you describe it a bit more, maybe the DM would be more willing to work with you and maybe give you a bit more, a bit more leeway. I think most DMs are pretty cool like that.
Fill each scenario with world objects that foreshadow interaction. Example, in a sci-fi game, a conveyor belt leading into your furnace waiting to be switched on. In a medieval setting, a church bell that could be swung from / dropped on enemies, or rung as a warning, etc. Push the players relentlessly into desperate situations so that they would be forced to examine their environment and make use of these. Depending on how much GM experience you have, fill the world with factions and allegiances. If the player wants to murder everyone, let them. But adjust their reputations and faction influences accordingly to show that their actions have consequences. Killing an important NPC may gain them favour among one faction and hostility among others, etc. In fact, the best advice might just be always prepare a meaningful consequence for every player's action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not really anything I can top to that, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give that a solid, that's
5 stars.
5 star,
Welcome
10 out of 10,
again,
would lead again.
Yeah. The best has probably been, be a fan of the player characters. I've tried to live by it, and not only have my players appreciated it immensely, but my games have been much better and more coherent as a result. Obviously, this should not be taken as an unbending rule, but as a broad admonition. By being a fan of the PCs, you avoid being an antagonistic dick like John Wick. You learn about the PCs and what motivates them, what scares them, and thus how to better fit them into the story and vice versa.
I feel like that is like the complete opposite of DM player character.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when it comes to it, a DM, whenever they introduce DM player characters, it feels like what they're really doing is they feel like they're going to have more fun with their own characters than the players' characters, even though the DM gets to do literally everything else in the game. Like the players have got a really limited amount on what they can
and can't do.
Compared to the DM has so much freedom to do absolutely anything, and that's why I really don't understand the idea of DM player characters all the time.
I don't get it.
I don't get me wrong. I do think like, okay, say you need to get through the forest and none of the characters are good. You don't have a ranger. No one's got a very good survival check. They're probably all going to starve to death and die.
Yeah.
If the players want to, okay, let them go ahead and hire a local huntsman maybe.
Yeah.
Now, that isn't a DM player character, but a lot of people would say, oh no, that sounds like no, that's just giving the players an option to and like if you pay them, they pay them. Right? So I think that's where we're going to end it. Most of the advice was actually pretty good. There wasn't that many actual terrible advice. I'm trying to think, what's the worst advice? Worst I can think of is
the worst advice is the no other source of light bar candles.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And everybody has to show up in costume.
Yeah. No, okay, I'm going to go for worst advice. Okay, if you're a DM or DM or a player, don't bother showering for at least a week. Piss on your clothes before you show up.
Yeah.
Piss
and
all
always
over.
have a heart on.
Yeah. Show up. Don't be prepared. Don't have absolutely anything. Be really passive. Don't be rude, but be passive aggressive. Because that's even better. Because then it means it's not going to boil over. It just... people
it's
are just
going to continue on.
People are just going to think you're a bit of a dick.
Bring Doritos and touch everything.
Oh yeah, love your here. See whenever someone shows you. Oh mate, I painted this really lovely model. Just drop that shit on the table. You know what I mean? Like make sure if bits don't crack off, you do it again. Trust me, they think that's hilarious. They think that's the funniest shit ever. What other? Oh, DM player character is a must. It should always be a minimum of 5 levels above. Also, every game, I would say pick a favourite character and move about, but no, just have one favourite character and make sure it's a girl.
Yeah.
Make sure it's the girl. It doesn't matter if the girl's there, if the girl cards.
If your DM player character isn't getting laid in some weird way.
Oh, and make sure you go into a lot of detail about it. And also,
never fade to black.
Yeah, never fade to black. Make sure you do it in front of everyone as well. And you know what? Get invest in a blow up doll and do show them exactly. It's like, oh yeah, and then I'm gonna fuck this one here, and then you pull out another one's again, and then I start fingering this one over here. Make sure really do that. What else? What could we make it worse? Never clean your house as well if you're going into your house.
Leave skid marks on the toilet. Or better yet, just don't flush.
Yeah, don't flush. Actually, make sure it's overflowing.
No toilet roll.
No toilet roll, yeah.
And no soap.
Yeah. Make your house into like what appears to be in a hoarder documentary.
Yeah.
It needs to be on par with that. Otherwise, why would you bother?
But that's just our advice.
But is there anything else? How else can we make this work? Make sure everyone hates each other, but they'll still show up.
Make sure there's a cat that pisses on everything.
Yeah, definitely. Any small children as well, coming in screaming.
And drugs.
A lot of, drugs might make this better at this point. So maybe cut out the drugs. I think the drugs might actually improve the overall situation. It's that bad. It's like, you know what, let's just enjoy ourselves, guys. If you've got any idea how to top that, I don't know what to say to you. That's a little.
Let us know down below. And while you're down there, check out the links to the website, the models. They really help us out a lot. And hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Subscribe to Neckbeardia. This is not a sissy hypno video. You will subscribe to Neckbeardia. Put on the cat ears.